on to video 2. This video I'm going to be talking briefly about synaesthesia, as one of you suggested that this is something that you would like me to talk about. I have done a video on this topic before, but I'm more than happy to talk about it again, and I can talk about it as many times as you need. Now, for those of you who don't know, who aren't familiar, 2 to 4% of people in the UK are born with the neurological condition synaesthesia. Synaesthesia is an amalgamation of two Greek words, syn, which means union, and aesthesia, which means sensation. Synaesthesia is therefore a perceptual phenomenon where two or more of the senses that are normally experienced separately are involuntarily and automatically joined together. I have colour-grapheme synaesthesia. Colour-grapheme refers to the fact that I see graphemes in colour. So I see numbers in colour. I see letters in colour. I see days of the week in colour. I see months of the year in colour. I see words in colour. Now, synaesthesia is not the result of mental imagination, and it's not a metaphorical thinking. Sometimes there's a little bit of confusion around this, because when I talk about it, sometimes people seem to think that I'm doing this deliberately or consciously, when that's not the case at all. Synaesthesia is something that you have no control over. It's involuntary. It just happens. It's just there. You can't turn it on, and you can't switch it off. It's a real thing that's going on here. It has been argued that synaesthesia is a result of having a brain that is over-connected. And they've even, in the research they've done, with people who have colour-grapheme synaesthesia, when they're placed in a scanner, the V4 area of the visual cortex actually lights up when a person is looking at letters, say for the sake of argument, or any other grapheme. Which shows you this is a real phenomenon in the brain as well. I'd love to have a brain scan. Not only are my graphemes intensely coloured, but they're also spatially located. They're spatially located as well, spatially projected, and associated with distinct rectangular shapes and a timeline. This is a very, very concrete experience. And not only do I have this experience in my mind's eye, so when I'm thinking about, say, a unit of time, for example, but I also see it as a projection. So when I'm, this is a very, very real experience. It's almost like a sort of parallel reality or sort of parallel universe, but it almost feels as real. I mean, it does actually feel as real as anything else. Even though I know that this, I'm not hallucinating or anything. I know that this, I'm not seeing things, if that makes sense, but it is a very, very real experience that I'm having. So my words are intensely colour-coded. Now, in a case of words, the general colour of the word is connected to the colour of the first letter. So for the sake of argument, just any word now that's coming into my head, let's take the word emporium. Don't know why the word came into my head, it just did. Emporium, that's a lovely word. Emporium is a red word, but that's because the first letter of emporium is E, and E is red. Even though each individual letter of emporium will have its own individual colour, but the word takes on a general kind of redness because of that E at the front, that capital E, which is in real bold colour, almost as though it's being coloured in felt tip pen. Is that bold? So E is red, M is black, P is a sort of yellow colour with a sort of hint of green, O is black, and then you've got R, which is black. R is red. How do you spell it? So it's E-M-P-O-R. Yeah, I black. U is a kind of orange colour, and then M is black. But because the E is red, the whole word takes on a sort of reddish aspect. So I generally think of emporium as a red word. Likewise, ecstatic is a red word. Elated is a red word. Exquisite is a red word. They're all red words because E is red. And I think because words are colour-coded like that, not only in my mind's eye, but also when I'm looking at text on the page or when I'm looking at a keyboard, particularly if it's black text or white text. I mean, this happens all the time, but when it's in black text and on white text, the colours seem to be even more pronounced. I don't know why. Something going on in my brain there. Don't ask me what. Some neuroscientists might be able to work it out. But yeah, when I'm looking at words on a page, I see those words, I see the colour kind of overlaid on top of the typing. So I mean, I know, for example, that my handwriting on this notebook I'm looking at now, I know that the handwriting is black because I wrote in black pen. But so I'm not hallucinating or anything. I know what the real colour is, but at the same time, there is a very clear secondary overlaid colour on top, which is my mind's projection, which is actually being projected onto the page. Now, I've always had this experience. I've had this experience all through my life. It's just that when I was younger, I didn't question it, because why would you? This is my normal. Why would I question what's normal to me? You don't question it, do you? You don't really question your own perceptions. I didn't realise that this was strange. I didn't realise that other people didn't have this experience. It just was. It just is. You don't question it. It's normal. Normal for me. But now I know that actually most people don't have this experience. I don't know what it's like for them because I'd have to get inside their brains. And people often talk about synesthesia, so it's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like amazing thing, like some rarefied thing. And I guess, I am kind of in a minority if you think 2% of the population, but still, to me, it just seems normal, because it is normal for me. Red, orange, yellow and green words are my favourite words. I think they're the most colourful words for me. It's certainly a mnemonic device, it helps me remember things. I think it's part of the reason why I love language so much, because words are so colourful. I live through the medium of language. Words make me high like nothing else. I'm very good with words. Yeah, so euphoria is one of my favourite words. It's red. Elation is red. Rambunctious is red. Parsimony is yellow. Salubrious is white. Ataraxia is green. Tergiversate is black and red. Garrulous is dark green, and so it goes on. I mean, I could list tons of words for you, but it'll go on and on and on. So, my own word, Anna, by the way, is green. Sort of khaki green word. I mean, it certainly helped me when I was revising for exams. I mean, back then, I didn't know I had synesthesia. But all I knew, and this was even before I knew I was autistic, but all I knew was that I saw the world in a very ordered way. I loved the sense of order that I experienced, I just loved, I do remember thinking, how lovely it was that it all had this amazing sense of order, and it certainly helped me, revise for exams. And I mean, I could memorise whole books, so when it came down to exams, that was just all rote learning. I could regurgitate whole books. I would like writing, and I'd say, more paper please, in the exam, put my hand up for more paper. And I think some of the teachers found it quite funny, because I literally would write a whole book, and because I was memorising, it was all in there, because I could remember whole books in this very visual way. So I think that's what helped me get through exams. I mean, I wasn't particularly academic when I was at school, that came later, but what got me through was my memory. If I apply myself, I have a good memory. I mean, I do have to apply myself, it doesn't come straight away. I do have to put work in, but if I do put the work in, I can remember whole books. And I'm helped by the fact that I have a natural inbuilt mnemonic device because I see things in colour, and that's one of the benefits of having synesthesia. It brings order and cohesion to a world, that is on a whole chaotic. Synesthesia is also, in my case, aligned heavily with my interests. I mean, obviously now, my love of words and stuff, but I think I've always loved words to some extent, but I've become more, I appreciate them more lately, I think, as I've become a bit more bookish and academic with advancing years. But when I was obsessed with Kate Winslet as a teenager, certain days and months took on a special significance. For example, Kate Winslet was born on the 5th of October 1975 in Reading, Berkshire. Now, October is black. It's between a white September and a brown November, and 5 is yellow. This added an extra layer of order and meaning to my obsession. And Reading is bright red. It shines extra large and bright. And Kate Winslet is orange. So that's the positive of having synesthesia, really. But it also lends life a sort of surreal quality. Because my synesthetic landscape is so bold and three-dimensional, it merges with what I see to become another layer of reality. Time literally becomes concrete. It actually feels like I'm walking through time. You know, it's projected out in front of me. So when I'm thinking about, say, I don't know, Thursday, tomorrow, for example, I actually see it. I see it there. You know, we're in Wednesday now, but I actually have this real feeling that it's there, you know, actually in space. It's very hard to explain. You'd have to get inside my head to see it yourself. And I don't think me talking about it probably, in a sense, talking about it, I feel sort of does injustice to the experience, because in a way it's beyond verbal. I'm not sure that I can really articulate what it's like, because you'd have to get inside my head to experience it, but I'm trying my best. That's why I took some notes, because if I just tried to explain it without these notes, I might not be able to get it across very well. I had to think about how I could actually get it across to people, so they might just get some flavour of what it's like, because it is really, really difficult to articulate, because it is such a sensory experience. It's very hard to put into words because of that, and I do feel maybe I'm doing a slight injustice to the experience by trying to verbalise it, but I'm trying my best. But at the same time, it can be quite terrifying in its realness. And the way it thrusts itself so boldly into the future, you know, my timeline, because I see numbers in space as well, you know. I'm 30 now, but I didn't want to leave for white 20s because they felt secure and I'd got used to the colour. And I think the synesthesia also makes me more aware of change, because if an event is planned and I visualise the event, say, alongside the day and month, it takes an extra special meaning. And if it doesn't go to plan, there is like a gaping hole in my timeline, because I actually visualise this event taking place. It's almost stuck onto the day in my head. So this can lead to a sense of loss and no meaning. So it kind of, in a sense, it might be part of the reason why, the part of autism that affects me most, because we're all different in terms of how autism affects us, because autism is, after all, you know, a spectrum in inverted commas. I'm not sure that I really like the term spectrum, but I'm just using it because that's the word that's used. You know, we're all different, and we're all affected differently by autism, and the part of autism that affects me the most, you know, I'm relatively good on the language side, aside from taking some things literally.